steroids.
We'll come back around.
Okay, we will come back.
I'm sure it'll pop up again.
Yeah, well, as the infamous press secretary says, we'll circle back on that one. Too soon. We're going to talk about Cinnamon Toast Crunch shrimp. And so this was a story that broke, I think it was right like after the show last week, either that or like early Tuesday morning. And so basically the backstory is, for those not aware, and I'm sure most people watching are, is that a man found shrimp tails in a Cinnamon Toast Crunch and the internet exploded. As you can see in the photo here, that very clearly looks like a shrimp tail coated in, Cinnamon Toast Crunch powder. And there's another photo. There's just a thing. I'll start by asking you guys saw this one, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to say this story went pretty viral. What was your initial reaction, G-Dubs? Did you think it's
this shit for fucking shell food? So I can imagine me eating that and then all of a sudden like getting into a fucking anaphylactic shock and dying because of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
It's a terrifying premise. Of all the things to die for, breakfast cereal isn't one of them. Colin, what did you think when you saw this story?
Well, my first thought was, shouldn't the shrimp shucking line be a lot farther than the cinnamon toast packaging line? Like, how are these two things coming in? Was it someone who ate a shrimp during lunch and says, fuck it, throws the shrimp tails in there? Is somehow Cinnamon Toast Crunch being packaged in some type of Thai or Philippine factory that we don't know about that's also producing shrimp? Maybe. But as we'll talk about later, I think that, as Bob Ross would say, happy little accident.
Ryan, what did you think about when you saw this story?
I mean, being a fan of surf and turf, I thought that everything was okay. I think that's an acceptable thing to happen. Usually have it for dinner, but for breakfast, I mean, that sparked a new idea in my head. So I'm going to start having shrimp and cereal myself. But it just reminded me of, those old like cereal commercials where they'd be like, oh, like, oops, all like peanut butter. Like, oh, somebody pulled the peanut butter lever and it's all peanut butter. The same thing happened. Like the Keebler elves were pulling levers and then shrimp fell into the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. No big deal.
I can just see it from like an office staff party where they had a shrimp cocktail platter and just, oh, I'm sorry, I gotta watch the line, but give me a whole handful of shrimps.
Right?
Shrimps, starts eating them and like, just hucks them.
Yeah. Times are tough. I remember getting like baseball cards and like decoder rings and stuff. Now it's just like shrimp tails.
What's so perplexing about this story, to me, is that the shrimp tail somehow resembles French Cinnamon Toast Crunch wafer, cookie. I mean, had that have been any other shellfish, had that have been an oyster shell or a scallop shell, it would have looked like, what is this, a seashell in this? Why is there a seashell in my cereal? But somehow, someone along the way, I almost wonder if this wasn't just a little bit of a fuck you, whoever gets this bag, you're going to eat some shrimp tail. And the amount of shrimp that I've ate over my life, I don't know if I've ever directly consumed shrimp tails. I feel like I've probably ate 20 to 30 of them in my life without even knowing just the amount of Thai food I've eaten. So my initial thought was like, if I ate a shrimp tail and it was cinnamon toasted,
not the end of the world.
The only problem with that is it's unrefrigerated shrimp. Like we've all gone to the beach and smelled fucking rotten seafood.
Well, maybe it was froze dried first,
But in the defense, GW, it's coated in a delicious cinnamon sugary capsule.
I'm not saying I wouldn't suck on it.
Well, I would pair that with a little cocktail sauce and almost just a little cocktail sauce with a little bit of a quick shrimp tail crisp. I think that'd be nice.
And this came from so Jensen Karp is the name of the guy who wrote this. He's a comedian and producer and writer and does some other stuff out in Cali. But he says that Cinnamon Toast Crunch swears, "Why are these shrimp tails in my cereal?" Parentheses, this is not a bit, indicating that he's not just trying to make a joke. General Mills subsequently denied it. They said that this was, they thought that possibly it was they reported the incident to quality control. They also said that they thought this, in fact, was just bits. Yeah, right here. After further investigation with our team that closely examined the image, it appears to be an accumulation of the cinnamon sugar that sometimes can occur when ingredients are thoroughly blended. We assure you there's no possibility of cross-contamination with shrimp, but it just looks so much like a shrimp tail, and I don't know.
That was indeed not shrimp tail. It was sugar.
That's what General Mills is saying, but of course that's what General Mills is saying, because they don't really want to eat a lawsuit.
This is a complicated process. You people don't understand. When the sugar comes out, it comes out as shrimp tails. Okay.
Yeah. All you gotta do is break that shit up.
It's the way it's always done, and that's it.
And then in the article they put Seth Rogen's comment in here because apparently that guy's still relevant, saying I'd cut my mouth off if I were you. Then Padma Lakshmi, sorry if I pronounced your name, you're very beautiful, retweeted the very viral situation, commenting sweet and savory. Yeah, and basically he then gave an AM update the next day saying he felt fine and he's going to go get tested, and then I haven't heard anything since. So I'm not sure.
We're not talking about the rat shit either that he found in there.
No, which was like cooked into one of the squares. But yeah, he said basically that General Mills asked him for the for the pieces, and he said no, he's getting them privately tested. But moving right into the next part, I wanted to say that Cinnamon Toast Crunch Shrimp is on the menu at Shuck and Shack Oyster Bar, which Ryan, I wanted your opinion on as a cook. I think this would be phenomenal.
I do too. I think that's a perfect appetizer for before you have your Doritos chicken parm or your Mountain Dew Alfredo.
But yeah, this delicious. For a few days, the social media world was aflutter with the latest viral meme. The guy who said he found some shrimp tails in the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It was the perfect recipe for a viral moment. Weird, kind of gross, but with ample room for jokes because nobody actually got hurt. Without diving into the rabbit hole of nonsense that includes actress, which we're getting into next, as Shrimp Guy's wife, let's just say he caught a lot of attention. But the Shuck and Shack Oyster Bar, the 16-location seafood franchise based in North Carolina, was able to grab a quick sliver of that attention with a viral tie-in item of its own, Cinnamon Toast Crunch Shrimp. And I kind of want to make some. Like that sounds really good, actually. I was going to say, of all the crap that people are breading stuff with now, like there was pop-up Cheetos restaurants for all the rage a little while ago. Yeah, where they were doing Cheetos breaded like everything. And I will admit that if you crush down the flaming hot Cheetos and bread stuff with them, it's really, really good. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about pork rinds. Pork rinds?
Yeah. Here's Ryan missed this one, but he was invited to a WrestleMania party and he didn't show up. Dick.
No. I was a turning point.
But I took a pork loin, cut it into winglets so they looked like chicken wings, and coated it in pork rind.
Oh, okay.
So it was double pork.
That sounds delicious.
It was great, and it was not kosher.
Just so, Dwayne, if you're watching, you've now sent us like 10 comments that say nothing. So something might be wrong with your phone, brother.
I think if you look further up, I think he's having a stroke.
Oh, yeah, he left this comment. That's a winner right there. It sounds like somebody who's been kidnapped. Dwayne, if you've been kidnapped, I don't know how you're going to tell us.
Wrong twice if you're in Missouri.
Muscles from General Mills got to him. He knows too much about the shrimp tail.
We're gonna bring him in with the shrimp for some testing. You know what I mean?
Captain Crunch, Sugar Bear, go get him.
The old Mill Mafia showed up.
Dig him.
He's going. Where's Post cereal when you need him?
Grape nuts, please save me.
Yeah, though you'd never find shrimp tails and grape nuts.
You also don't find sexual satisfaction in grape nuts.
No, you don't.
Any woman that eats it looks like a fucking grandma. She could be 18 and still, oh, you eat grape nuts? Oh, your uterus is already dried out.
But they give good head.
Well, yeah, because she's a grandma.
So speaking of dried up, and a great segue into our next subject, I was going to talk about the fun fact that I tried to gloss over earlier, is to not destroy the surprise, is that the man